Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Today's video is such a special video because I have been running the book club that I run on this channel, Tay's Book Club, for 1 whole year. I started it October last year and I cannot believe it's been a year, and I cannot believe that we've read so many books together. So I'm going to show you the books up until September, but obviously October we read Dracula. I just haven't put my review up yet. So we've read 11 books together in that year, which is crazy to me. So I'm going to go through each of these books, and I thought we could have like a little bit of discussion so people can say, oh, that was a good reading month, like do more books like that or less books like that. Let me know. I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined in with the book club. There's been so many people sending me your pictures on Instagram and your reviews on Instagram and your reviews on YouTube, really getting involved in the book club and mentioning my book club on your booktube channels. Thank you so much. This was just a fun idea that I wanted to do because I felt like a lot of my videos were me just talking at you, and I wanted a lot more of a conversation. And so that's why when I do my review videos of the book club, I always read out your reviews as well, so it feels like more of a conversation about books that we can have together. So I'm very excited to talk about all these books. Some of these books I forgot that we'd read for the book club. I'd completely forgot. So I'm just going to get straight into it. The first book that we ever read for Tay Book Club was a short little one. Obviously the book club started in October, so I wanted a short spooky read, and I chose this. Bad choice, but I did choose it. The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. It's about a woman who goes to look after 2 children, and there's something not quite right with the house, there's something not quite right with the children, and it's all very haunting. And I had never read anything by Henry James, but I knew I wanted to choose a classic because I enjoy classics. I enjoy promoting classics on the channel, so I knew I wanted to start with a classic. But I thought I'd start with a completely unknown book that I hadn't read. Obviously it's an incredibly famous book, and people hated it. I remember when I read it and I was like, oh, like it was long, like it dragged itself a lot. It really dragged the story. It was like that, dragging the story along. And I was like, oh god, but it did have atmosphere and different things. And then the reviews came in and they were like, boring, the worst book I've ever read, is there any structure to this? People really did enjoy this read, and I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do for like next month, because what if no one joins in because I hated this book so much? So I decided to choose a book that I had read myself, and that I had read this book and absolutely adored this book, and so I thought everyone else is going to love it as well, and that was Mary Poppins. And this is actually the only book in the book club where I've already read the book before I put it in the book club. All the other books going forward and all these books that I'm about to show you, I hadn't read, so we were all enjoying the book for a first time experience together, which I think makes it more special. But I think I panicked after Turn of the Screw, if I'm being honest. I was like, oh my god, I need to get a book that people are going to like. So I chose Mary Poppins. I love Mary Poppins. The Disney version absolutely butchered Mary Poppins, so I really wanted people to read the original source material, and people loved it, and I was so excited. And it's really interesting how when I started this channel, it was on and off. I started it, but my first video was in 2014. It was a Mary Higgins Clark book. I've never read a Mary Higgins Clark book since. Like, I made out so I was such a fan, like Mary Higgins Clark, oh great books. Well, this book, Where Are the Children? And I really did enjoy that book, but I like Mary Higgins Clark's TV adaptations. I've never really read any more of her books. Give me a Mary Higgins Clark recommendation, because maybe on the anniversary of this channel, which I think is in like February, I should maybe read another Mary Higgins Clark. Maybe we can do it for the book club, and I'll be like, this is how I started, because on the comments of that people were like, oh, I love Mary Higgins Clark, like a channel that's going to talk about Mary Higgins Clark. Never spoke about her again. Literally never uttered Mary Higgins Clark again in my life on this channel. So what a con artist. But name a good Mary Higgins Clark if you have read them. I've watched a lot of the TV adaptations though, because the TV adaptations, they're kind of crime. They're kind of like Lifetime channel crime. Everything's a bit mad, it's a bit weird, but it's eerie. I did enjoy her one book that I read, and I like the TV adaptations. Completely forgot what I was talking about there. But anyway, oh, so I did that Mary Higgins Clark video, and then a few weeks later I did my first ever Mary Poppins video because I had just read it. And in the video I'm like, oh my god, I love this. So it's so interesting that in like 2014 I spoke about Mary Poppins on the channel, and then I did this last year for the book club, and this year I'm reading Mary Poppins, the first book, aloud on the channel. I'm reading a few chapters in every single video, so it's really interesting how I just can't leave this book alone. Like, I will drag this book along the channel for as long as I can because I adore this book. So people really liked that one. We then took 2 months for one book. Well, I started it in December and I said you've got till the 20th of January, so that's why there's not as many like books as you would think, because we had to spread this book over 2 months. The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. A lot of mixed reviews. I don't think that I really researched it enough before I said it for the book club, because I was like, oh, you know, I love Esmeralda and the gang, a Frollo, you know, the Hunchback, Quasimodo, fabulous. Love the Disney film. Think this is going to be different. Well, yes, Hannah, it is different because it's just about Parisian architecture. It's about the changing landscapes of Paris and Victor Hugo's critique on that, and him saying, why are we changing Paris? Look at all these beautiful buildings, we should keep them the same. It was like a long old essay about why Paris should stay the same, the history of Parisian architecture. I had no idea. The actual story is kind of sprinkled in very lightly, and then it's not till the end when the story kicks up. And the end when the story with the characters kicks up, my god, that was amazing. I would love for someone to edit this and just have the story, like get rid of everything to do with the architecture, just so I can read it again with just the characters, because there's no way I'm reading this again. Like, let's just be completely honest, 501 pages, no. It was slow. I felt like he was repeating himself about the architecture, but the things with the characters and everything, that was like magical madness, and I absolutely loved everything to do with Quasimodo and everything to do with Esmeralda. I thought it was fabulous, and Esmeralda's mum, like, it was just such a great story when it got to that. But you have to get through, I mean, like 400 pages of an essay about French architecture till you even get there, and I feel like everyone felt the same as me. A lot of people like had to tell me like, Hannah, I know you're reading Hunchback and you've already chosen it, that's fine, but did you know it's about French architecture? I was like, yeah, good one, good one. What, 500 pages? I should have listened. I was a fool. God, like, wow. But glad I read it, glad I read it. I have a shrine here to the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I have a plate from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I have a Frollo figure. I have 2 Eiffel Towers, because this was such an accomplishment. I've made a shrine for it and it goes there on my shelf. But wow, wouldn't be reading that ever again in my lifetime, I will say that. But I am glad that I did read it because, like I said, when the character bits kick in, so good. Not sure if I'd recommend it, being perfectly honest. So this was 2 months. So this went December, January. Then February's pick was A Passage to India by E.M. Forster. And this is about a group of English people. They're in India and then an incident happens. I don't want to spoil it. And it's to do with racism and different things at the time. Mixed reviews. I really loved this because I love E.M. Forster's writing. And I'd already read A Room with a View, is it called? That one where that girl, she goes to Italy to kind of find herself, and I loved that book. So I was really excited for this, and I really did enjoy this book. But some people did think that because of the time in which it was written, they were saying stuff that now wouldn't be acceptable, and there were quite vile characters within it. So this was really a mixed bag. Like, some people liked it, some people really didn't. I really loved it. Passage to India there. I would personally recommend that book. I then decided a Agatha Christie because, you know, I love Agatha Christie so much, so I was like, do you know what, let's just do Agatha. Does anyone want to do another Agatha? Like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, should we do another Agatha? Anyone interested in doing another Agatha Christie? Not many people joined in with this read along. I think Agatha Christie, she's niche, like you either like her books or you don't, that's kind of it. This was probably the lowest, like, of people getting involved with this book club. This was probably the lowest one. People didn't really have any interest in this, and this is a mysterious Ferret Styles. It's a Poirot murder mystery. I really loved it because I love Agatha Christie. I really liked that the people that did join on with this one though had never read any other Agatha Christie, so I thought it was nice that they were kind of being introduced to Agatha. But maybe next time we'll choose one and more people will get involved. I don't know. Let me know. Oh, I thought this was going to be brilliant. I thought we were going to read this next book and we were all going to be like, oh my god, this is incredible. The Testament of Mary, by Colin Tolban. This shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2013, won loads of different awards. On the back it's like the monumental achievement, powerful, poignant, a tender. Oh, I just didn't like it at all. I think some of the writing was good, and I remember reading some of it and being like, oh, that's really beautiful, but I don't feel like we learn anything. It's about Jesus's mother Mary, so the Virgin Mary. It's about what happens to her after Jesus is killed. Very interesting sounding plot, but I didn't feel like it had any substance to it. I didn't feel like it really did anything or told me anything, but there were some bits that I liked with it, but maybe I had too much like high expectations for this book, I don't know. This was again mixed reviews. Some people loved it, like really loved it, and some people were like me, like meh, I don't think I really did anything. Oh, this was actually the worst book club pick, was Peter Pan and then the Agatha Christie. Not many people wanted to read this, so I chose Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, and people were like, no. Some people had already read it and they didn't like it, and other people just had no interest in actually reading it. So this was actually the one but people didn't really get involved with. And I had no idea. I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's going to be lovely, and Peter, and people were like, Peter's not lovely. Peter Pan is hateful, he's spiteful, he's selfish, he's written that way, he's supposed to be that way, but I just didn't enjoy it. And this is a book that, on all these books, I've given their own individual reviews, individual videos. And on this Peter Pan one, I always get comments that are like, you're just not smart enough to read it. Like, there's so much subtlety, there's so much this, there's so much that. It's so intelligent, it's about childhood, you just don't get it. I do get it, and I just don't like it. I understand everything you're saying about it, but I still don't like it. People get really irritated that I don't like this book, but I really don't like this book. I tabbed moments. What on earth did I tab here? Oh, this is about, I'll read you some, like, tiny bits. This is about Peter Pan. He's described as, when children died, he went part of the way with them, so that they should not be frightened. So there was really nice, like, elements and moments within it. This is about Tinkerbell's bed. I loved this description. She varied the bedspreads according to what fruit blossom was in season. I loved that she had, like, fruit blossoms. Oh yeah, and then this famous quote is said by Peter Pan: to die will be an awfully big adventure. People get that tattooed onto them. I don't really love that quote too much. I think I just lined it because I was like, oh, I've heard that before. Line. But I don't love that quote too much. But yeah, didn't like Peter Pan at all, to be perfectly honest with you. Wasn't a book for me. I then read Jane Eyre. Absolutely adored it. Adored it so much. So good. So it just tells you of Jane Eyre's life. So she's had a really terrible childhood and she's very unloved. She then meets this man Rochester and she moves into his house with him, and then he has had a previous wife that you find out about, who he's keeping in the attic. It's all mad, it's all amazing. If you haven't read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, you really need to. It's an absolutely fabulous book. My edition of the book isn't fabulous because it just fell apart in my hands, but the book itself is really good. I have also tab moments with it. Look at me getting on my tab game. Oh, I am no bird, and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will, which I now exert to leave you. Oh, Jane girl, grab your coat. Oh, I hated Rochester so much. Like, the whole thing, I was like, Jane, grab your coat. Like, every time he'd do something, I'd be like, Jane, grab your coat, leave. I couldn't stand him at all. It made me feel sick. And oh, I think this is just, I was like talking about plot points within it. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Saint John. Oh my god! What? I've like done that, underlined it, and then I've put me exclamation mark with a smiley face, like me. This describes me. Okay, let's see what I thought described me. Saint John had a book in his hand. Let me read it again. Saint John had a book in his hand. It was his unsocial custom to read at meals. LOL! Me there, loved Jane Eyre. Why did I sass up my edition of Jane Eyre there? Anyway, next up we read Bedknobs and Broomsticks. This is by Mary Norton, Absolutely adored this. As a children's book. I feel like everyone knows what it's about. I think my review of this book is probably one of the best reviews that I've ever done on my channel, because I reviewed this book and then I compared it to the Disney film that was made of this, and then I compared that to the Mary Poppins Disney film, because Bread, Knobs and Broomsticks, the Disney film, was very similar to the Mary Poppins film. So I did like a big in-depth thing, did a lot of research into it. That probably is the proudest video that I've made, one of them. One of them, because I am proud of them all. One of them. I've never made a video and put it up that I thought, I hate this video, ever. There are so many videos that I've made that I just haven't put up, that I just don't upload, because if I don't think that they're interesting to me, the videos, they don't get uploaded. So I have a whole stash, a whole treasure trove, if you will, of unput up videos that I just kept. And my laptop, well, the drama, my laptop stopped working. I don't know if you know of the saga, but I spilled Coke on my laptop. My laptop stopped working, completely broke, and then I took out the hard drive to try and get the stuff off the hard drive. My boyfriend was doing it because he's really good at computers. The hard drive is broken, so all my short stories, all my poems, all my pictures, all my videos, gone forever. It's been very stressful. I have got a new laptop now, but I was like so upset about like losing all my things, and if I want to get the stuff off my hard drive, maybe the hard drive is too damaged to get anything off, but I can send it off, and I've got to spend a lot of money to do it, and I'm just like, I just can't do that right now. So I am really upset about the laptop situation. But all my videos that I didn't upload, I kept them on my laptop. So all the videos that I thought weren't good enough, or that I didn't want to put up for whatever reason, they were all on my laptop, and now they've like been completely wiped, so I can't ever upload them. So yeah, don't know why I told you that story, but I thought I would. Anyway, absolutely adored this book. Thought it was fabulous, loved it. Great book. Then the last book we have, which was September's book, was The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. I thought her name was Gillian Flynn, but in an interview someone was like Gillian Flynn. I was like, what? Gills? Gillian Flynn? Okay, Gillian Flynn. It's quite nice. Gillian. It's got quite a nice like rhythmic to it. Gillian Flynn. It's quite nice, isn't it? But this what, like we just like Gillian for 10 minutes there. This, The Grown Up, it's a short novella. It was actually a short story in a short stories collection, and then the publishers published it as a novella, and I just thought it didn't have enough substance to it to make it interesting for me. But mixed reviews, a lot of people agreed with me and were like, oh yeah, I agree, it didn't have enough substance. But then some people were like, you loved it, thought it was amazing, and I was like, okay, whatever floats your boat. So it was a bit mixed for that as well. And those are the books. So obviously I have Dracula for October, Dracula, and then October's book pick was Rebecca, which I haven't even started Rebecca yet, to be perfectly honest with you. Tell me if you have started Rebecca, anyone, because I haven't even opened the page. I read a bit of Rebecca out loud on the channel, but that's it. I read it in my announcement book video, and since then I haven't carried on reading. I was like, I'll read a little bit, and then after I finished the video, maybe I'll read like the whole of chapter 1, because I'm halfway through. I didn't, guys. I just flapped that lid straight down and moved on. I didn't finish that at all. So tell me what you think about these books. Tell me if you joined in with any of the book clubs, and what were your favourite books that you read with the channel. Tell me also where you want the book channel to, where you want it to go, because I never know. Do we want to stick to do we want to do more children's fiction? Do we want to do more classics? Or do we want to move into a modern sphere? I mean, the most modern thing would probably be Gillian Flynn's. Let's see when this was published. I mean, it's not modern, but it's the most kind of up-to-date one that we have read, because we do read a lot of classic. 2014. I mean, it's not that modern, but you know, it's getting there. It's a bit more modern. 2014. Do we want to read new releases? I never pick new releases. Oh my god, when am I going to learn to speak? I never pick new releases. Oh, who's she? I never pick new releases because I always think they're too much money. Like, I don't want to say to you, oh, we're going to read this book, so everyone go out and spend £12 on a book, or £7 on a new book. You know, if it's an older book and you're buying like a lovely edition of older books, I will spend a bit more money on them, because I'm like, well, they're collectibles and they are an older, you know, edition of them. Maybe I will actually. I will spend a bit more of an investment into that. But when it's new books and you don't know if you're going to like them or not, and they're not classics because they're new, I don't know if anyone's interested in new release books at all, or just like I do at the moment, just famous works. I would say that all of these works are famous works, they are known works, and so they're probably easy to find in charity shops or get out of your library as opposed to new ones. I was going to do a book club when I was doing the Booker Prize, which I'm not doing that anymore, but when I was doing the Booker Prize, I was going to choose one of the books that are on the Booker Prize to do as my book club month, and everything that's on the Booker Prize came out this year. It has to have come out this year. And I just thought, they're quite expensive, the Booker Prize ones, and I thought it would be unfair because I got all my ones from the Booker Prize from the publishers. I contacted them and they sent me the books for free, so I thought it would be unfair me holding up a book that I got for free and then expecting you to pay for it. But then when I look around at most other people's book clubs that they run either on YouTube or on Instagram and stuff, they're all new release books, and I'm like, but then someone has to go out and buy that. Like, I don't know, I'm not you, I'm just saying, like, personally for me, I like more older books that are a lot more available to other people and available in other people's countries, because I know people who do the book club are from all different countries who do my book club, so I don't want to pick a book that's not going to be available for you yet, that's only been published in the UK. I'm not sure. Any more modern choices that people can think of? They're famous, but they're modern works that we might want to read together, or do you want to do children's books, classic books, graphic novels? Do you want to go into that? I've never chosen a graphic novel, I've never chosen a poetry collection or a short story collection or anything like that. I've only chosen novels or novellas. So do we want to move into different realms? Ooh, different realms! The realm of a graphic novel, the realm... Sorry, like, keep the concentration, Hannah. Sorry, but what do you want? Different realms or not? Let me know. I'm going to end it here because I don't want to babble on too much. Any suggestions for the book club, let me know. Thank you so much for everyone who's got involved in the book club. I really didn't think many people would get involved when I first started the book club. Obviously it has grown the longer it's been going on, but when it first started I didn't think many people would get involved because I thought, are they going to be interested to do this? You know, it's a book that I'm picking, maybe they won't want to read that book, but people have been great, and people have been saying, like, you very honest, like, I don't want to read this month, but I'll see what you're doing next month, and different stuff like that. Loving the book club so far. Like, what more can I say? I honestly, it's my favourite thing that I do on this channel. That's it. It used to be Friday reads. But I don't do Friday reads anymore. But now it is the book club. The book club has taken over my favourite thing that I do because of that interaction, because YouTube is so one-sided, and the book club just adds a different element within it, which I love, which is very difficult to find on YouTube anymore. You know, YouTube used to be able to do video responses and you'd have more of a back and forth with people, but nowadays it's very difficult. Not all the subscribers get sent out your videos, and it's all very political about what you're speaking about. Whereas with the book club we can still have that back and forth, and I really enjoy that. Oh, let me talk one more thing about the book club. I never know if people want to talk about more sensitive topics in the book club, so pick books that maybe might be dealing with more sensitive topics, or do we want to keep it light? I would say all these books are pretty light, apart from Passage to India, which that did really split people because of the themes that are in A Passage to India. What are you thinking? Do we keep it light and friendly, maybe head children's fiction, or do we want to get a little bit more into taboo topics and subjects and discussions into that? Let me know. I am actually going to end the video when the person that's on your doorstep, like, just one more. I know you've got to go inside, but what, oh sorry, I know you got to pick up your child, but one more thing, that's me. The botherer is what I should be called, the botherer book club. Anyway, gonna actually end it here. I hope you're still enjoying Halloween, and I listened to all your feedback yesterday. So on the video yesterday I said, do you want short videos from me or long videos, because I can really chat on, so long videos are like easy for me, but I will kind of script things out more if you want short videos, you know. And people said they liked, sorry about that, my camera just shut off, but people said they like my longer videos, so that's really what I'm going forward with, longer videos. My camera, why I have to say sometimes my camera shut off, which is becoming a bit of a catchphrase, is that it times itself off over a certain minute when it thinks you should have stopped talking, but I'm still talking. Gonna end it here, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Halloween video, and thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of my book club.